Hey, I'm Brad Emmons.
I'm Jay Ammons.
We're from the Glorious Sons, and you're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
You guys are actually celebrating a year this month since the sophomore record dropped. Let's take me back into the studio and working with Fast Friends. Like, what was that kind of chemistry like the first time you guys stepped into the same room together?
Well, we got here kind of on a blind date style trip. It was, we'd never met them before. We'd heard 3 demos, and we knew that, they could take us in a direction that would, help the band, help lead us in the direction that we wanted to go. And they asked that night what we wanted to do, and I said to them, we're here to learn from you. We want you guys to help us. Right. So, I mean, it was amazing. The first day we recorded Josie, and it just didn't stop. Every day we had a new song coming through, and it was a very easy process for the most part, especially in the studio with them. Yeah.
Now, as far as picking them to come out to LA to record with them, what was it about them that made you guys? Well, how did you discover them in the first place? And then 2, what made you guys want to come out to LA for that?
Our manager came across this demo, and he's like, "Hey guys, check this out. I think this is really cool." And we're like, "Yeah, it is. Let's go chase that sound."
Right. There was a modern edge to what they were doing, but it still had these gritty undertones that I think that are very important for rock and roll.
Yeah. With those undertones, do you think it's harder to find a producer that understands those kind of tones?
I don't know. I mean, we haven't worked with many producers. We worked with one producer on both our EP and our first album, John Angus MacDonald, and we worked with Fast Friends. So, I mean, our world is so far away from here. It's in Los Angeles here. You can work with a different person every day, and you still wouldn't work with as many producers in this city. Like, there's so many. For us, it was...
it just depends on the match, really. It seemed to work out quite well for whatever reason. But if you're not jiving with the people you're working with, you're not gonna write songs. Doesn't matter how good the producer is or how modern or how gritty he is. It's about relationships and personalities.
Right. And as far as you kind of touched on writing, I mean, what's the writing style or process like between the 2 of you?
Well, I usually, a lot of times I'll write a half song, bring it to the band or bring it to the producers so that people can take ownership in the music. But I mean, I write a lot of the lyrics and melody, and the band chimes in when necessary, and they write a lot of the instrumental stuff.
Yeah. A few years ago, you said that you enjoy writing by the water. Is that still the same today, or do you have like a new location or a new kind of inspiration that you like to chase after?
Well, I think when I refer to the water, I just mean Lake Ontario in our hometown, Kingston. I can pretty much write anywhere, in all honesty. I can write on a tour bus or at a party, or
It's rather uncanny where I've seen Brett write, right in the eye of the hurricane of a party, and he's sitting there with an acoustic guitar. It's pretty wild, actually.
So as you have 2 records out, you have an EP as well. How do you see your songwriting developed? And how do you kind of perfect that?
Well, it got more personal, and I think the way to perfect that is just to, strive for honesty. However hard that may be, however rude that may be to some people, or however, destructive that could be to relationships or even to yourself. I think the main thing is to strive for honesty, because unless you're doing that, you're not going to come up with anything new or anything that people, really attach themselves to.
Right. And whenever you open up like that and write something vulnerable, like, how do you get comfortable to do that? Knowing that, you have an audience that's going to listen to you, or you have a producer in the same room that you've never met before, and, you're opening up to.
I'm a pretty open guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm a very open guy. I fear more for people around me than I do myself. I don't know. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I'm a very I'm pretty humbled, and I'm able to laugh at myself. And I mean, the only thing where you really get into trouble is, you don't want to throw somebody close to you under the bridge in a song, and we've ran into trouble with that before, and I've erred on the side of, changing the lyrics for their sake, because I mean, you have a responsibility to the people you love to make them feel safe and comfortable and happy.
The same, I guess, kind of goes with, having their name as titles. You have 3 song titles that, Josie, Ruby, and Caroline. So, did you reconsider that before you kind of titled those the tracks, or did you already change them?
No, because I changed the names.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, Josie is about somebody who's not really that close to me in the first place. And I think it's a positive song. People have brought it up to me as being a negative thing, but I think it more... When I wrote the song, it was meant to be positive.
It doesn't say anything bad. It just kind of describes a certain person's lifestyle.
Yeah.
It doesn't really pass any judgment.
And I take a lot of liberties, with that song, because I don't know them well. It was more, that song was just kind of an imagination-driven piece about somebody that I didn't know very well. It was kind of more about what I thought their life could be like.
Right. And for you, Jay, as you're getting ready for instrumentals in the studio, like, how did you kind of challenge yourself on this record?
Show up every day and try to do your best, I guess. Like, we had no idea what we were walking into when we came in, and it was completely different than what we'd done historically. As far as, usually we have the songs all laid out. Lay down the drums, lay down the bass, lay down the guitar. So we knew our parts, and it was just a matter of going into the studio and laying it down. This time it was kind of like creating everything on the fly, kind of like battle of the best parts. So, I might lay something down, and then Coster might have something that's better, so we'd go with that, So it was like, it's kind of like throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, see what suits the song best.
We also re-recorded some guitar parts when we realized that, maybe there wasn't enough teeth. So we went and re-recorded some guitar parts after some people had some time to digest the songs a little more. And
I think overall it wasn't like, I don't know if I really upped my musicianship, but I learned a lot more about songwriting and how songs can be written differently than we used to.
Right. Now, as you mentioned, like, Josie was one of the first songs that you guys wrote for this record. Was there a particular song that challenged you guys when you guys were creating it? Maybe you almost scrapped it. Maybe, like, you reconstructed it many times.
Everything Is All Right started from one verse on a voice note. I mean, that song was tough. That was out of our world. Just the fact that it's sung so lightly and so high, I'm just not used to that. And I was having trouble getting over the simplicity of the statement, everything is all right. So that was a little bit of a tough one. It's also just a unique song for the full band as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, it wasn't that tough, in all honesty.
And with that song, do you feel like it's kind of a challenge when you perform it live, going from the heavier songs to going to that song?
Yeah, it's annoying. It's so fucking annoying.
It's just such a dynamic song vocally that it's. I mean, I think we pull it off really well instrumentally, but it's just like Brett's really reaching at the bottom and the top of his range. So,
I mean, it's not a type of singing that I am at all used to. So, I mean, from night to night, it could be complete shit or good. I mean, I loathe it. I usually just get the crowd to sing it when I can.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gonna? We can expect another song like that or more songs like that, or do you just want? You've already tried it. You don't like it.
You challenge yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, there was songs that I had troubles with that I just built up the muscle in my voice to figure out. But also, I think you start to learn yourself a little bit as well. And I mean, that song's it's not that it's not heavy. It is a heavy song, but I think for the next album I have a little. I'd like to stray away from the acoustic indie pop scene that's happening all over the fucking world right now and do something a little bit new anyway.
Right. Are you already thinking about that next record though, or is that something that you guys are already starting to work on while you're on tour?
Well, constantly thinking about it. Yeah.
But you feel like, I mean, do you feel like this record still has a lot of life left?
Oh yeah. I mean, Shotgun's doing super well, and there's definitely down here at least. I think there's still life in the record, but
Yeah, we're about 3 singles deep now, so
we're 2 in the States.
yeah, I guess so. But we're gonna be due for a new one soon. Like, I guess we could go against what all of the people around us recommend, but it seems like we're gonna be making new music soon.
They've done all right for us to this point too.
Yeah, I think we got to trust the people who have got us this far. So if they think we need new music, then we will oblige them.
So with SOS, I know you mentioned earlier like you're an open book, but SOS is more of almost a politically type of song. So when you're about to write a song like that, some artists are scared to open up that way, more scared than being vulnerable. Did you have any challenges with that at all? Or it's just another day in the studio?
That song started as totally different song about a guy who robs a convenience store, and it was called Sammy.
But it also started as that other song. Remember that stupid pop song?
Yeah.
And
It was 2 songs morphed.
Our manager really believed in this, like,
shitty pop song.
yeah, it was like, and we were trying at it, and then all of a sudden, Brett came with that huge chorus, and everything kind of just like.
What happened was, we had this song, and we built a track in the studio. Everybody built around it, and we were like, fuck, this instrument, the instruments in this are way too cool for that stupid song. So we put it on the side burner for a little while, and I was in the shower, and I remembered I had this song with the line, I bought a sawed-off shotgun, I thought about robbing a corner store. Yeah, I had the whole chorus, and I started chanting it in my head over it. Then I took it into the guys, Frederick, and everybody, like, nobody was scared. Everybody was like, this is amazing. We were just so excited, and there was no fear at all, because it was a song about humanity. It's not a song about
so much politics.
Yeah, I mean, I think that any left-wing person or right-wing person should be able to get behind something about real life that's happening all over both of our countries.
Right. I agree with that. Now, aside from that, you guys actually got to open up for Rolling Stones in France. What was that like for you guys, especially because you guys are starting, your name is starting to be heard everywhere now, and you guys are starting to expand your music along the U.S. But what was that like opening up in France for the Stones?
It's kind of like the first really huge opportunity we've gotten. I mean,
At least overseas.
well, actually the first huge opportunity we've gotten. It's like the first, big bone we've been thrown. I mean, we've toured with other artists like the Struts, and we've toured with some pretty big bands that we're lucky to get those opportunities. But this one's like once in a lifetime kind of. I think there's a lot of huge bands out there that would never get an opportunity like that. And that being said, it was also like we're all huge fans of it. Our parents are huge fans of the Stones. It's like it was just like really surreal. Yeah, and it was a really great learning experience going out there and playing for 60,000 people.
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't get nervous anymore, which is, I didn't get that nervous before, but certainly there's not going to be hopefully we get there again someday, but I mean, it was a pretty, you felt pretty small up on that stage.
That's amazing.
The stage was like the size of one of these blocks. It was gigantic. I ran it once, and I was like, fuck. I have to play the rest of the show, and I can't breathe. And then Mick goes out there, friggin' whatever age he is, it's just dancing around it the entire time. It was cool. I mean, we had to be on a plane the next morning at 7:45 a.m. It didn't change anything about us. Like it wasn't this big stepping stone, I don't think, at the end of it all, but it was an amazing experience. And my neighbor said, you know, you're like of like less than 1 percentile of people on this earth or in the last 50 years that got to open for the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
And that's an amazing thing to think about.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And well, congratulations with that, guys, and congratulations with all the success that's coming in right now. Now, before we close this off, I would love to see you guys get on tour with Cage the Elephant. So when is that gonna happen? Because I think like you guys would be perfect together.
It should happen soon. Honestly, I can't think of a better tour. I mean, we're both very high energy bands that play great rock and roll. We love it.